But if you're not 100% committed and passionate about it, it's not going to work. Lawyers need to use technology to improve the way on how they deliver services to the clients. They have to be a little bit more cost effective and efficient.
You seem to be quite across, like, how building a business works. I mean, like, this is your second startup. Your first startup obviously was sort of something that you were just trying for
that
fun.
was just a hobby.
Your second startup, you're doing it project. So well now. It's like within 1 year.
No, I have a lot of people I surround myself who help. I have really good advisors on board. Okay. One of them is Sam Nicholas, who's the COO and partner at Gilbert & Tobin, who I worked with before, and he's helping me a lot with that. I was always interested in business because of growing up in a small business environment with my father having his own business, and kind of in the town where I grew up, everyone has their own businesses. It's like all just family businesses. We don't have huge, big enterprises. It doesn't exist. I was always kind of interested in it. But then I just learned it while doing, and I love reading business books and leadership books, and that's how I learn it. And I just suck in all this information and knowledge, and then I try to put it into action. Start with why. I'm Simon Sinek.
Right, okay.
To finding your why and starting with the why and selling from the inside out, not from the outside in. It's not how you do it and what you do, it's why you do it. Then another one was John Maxwell. I think he was Discover or Unleash the Leader Within You, something like that.
Okay.
It's a leadership book.
Okay.
It's all around leadership and what it means to be a leader and not just a manager, right? And he also says that the only thing you need to be a leader is someone that follows you. And the first person to start with to follow yourself is yourself. And as soon as you nail that, you then start convincing and talking to others and get them to follow you. And then that's how you kind of go into kind of this leadership kind of role. Because I haven't been one before and never had to do it. So that's why I read that. And then the next book, which I just finished, and I love it, is Reid Hoffman, Blitzscaling.
Okay.
And that's all about method of blitzscaling in the new age, and how LinkedIn, with Reid Hoffman, who's the founder of LinkedIn, blitzscaled, and how Uber blitzscaled, and how Airbnb blitzscaled, and all the different types of blitzscaling and what it means.
What is blitzscaling?
Hypergrowth.
Okay.
And going into growth.
Which is what you're doing right now, is that what you're saying?
Well, not yet, no.
Okay.
It's a very risky thing to do, right, because it's wasteful with resources. You go growth over efficiency, and you waste a lot of money. So it's if you look into the US startup environment, the companies that raise hundreds of millions of dollars and spend it very, very, very quickly purely to grow, and you risk operational inefficiencies. You do things inefficiently just to grow, just to be the first, and just to take the entire market, even if you lose money on the way. And you do not look into short-term financial gains at all. It's all around long-term. And if you look into an Uber, for example, they have like 1 point whatever billion quarterly losses, because they're just focused on growth. It's so against normal business to do that, and it's highly risky, but highly rewarding if you succeed.
So I feel like the point of blitzscaling, as you described it, is to capture the market. So you be the first dominant person in the market. Yeah. And then it's a long-term growth strategy. So once you hit that position, you get a really strong foothold, and that's how you push that position for the longer term.
And then you have a big kind of distribution channel, and then you have to come up with your next product you blitzscale as well, because once you start reaching a certain size, your growth is starting to slow down, right? And you can see that with anything, like even with the Facebook, right? You can't keep growing in that kind of same rate because there's just not as many people who have access to internet, right? And once that starts slowing down, you need to stay relevant, find your next product, you start to blitzscale within the same business. Like, okay, nail this one little market within like trademarks a little bit globally to have good product market fit, set it up for scale that we know, okay, this is a product people want, and then push it really, really hard and grow really, really quickly from being a local kind of company of, let's say, 100 people within 1 year to be a global kind of business with a few thousand people.
Okay.
And there's one year which I actually saw, I think it was 2016 to 2017, but I might be wrong, where Facebook employee headcount grew from 17,000 to 32,000. Right, that's 15,000 people hiring in 1 year. Like, that's just insane.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm up for hypergrowth and blitzscaling. I was obsessed. When reading and I was just like, wow, this is so cool.
Okay, so what do you think are some of the factors that really contributed to their blitzscaling succeeding?
Probably having found product market fit, doing it to the right time, and having probably with all the different phases within blitzscaling, when you go from the smaller ones where you can sort of the little tribe stages and then go to kind of a city stage and then to a nation stage, which is like depending on how many people you have working with you, they could adopt and change very quickly and rapidly to adopt to the different phases, because your business and the entire structure in each phase needs to completely change. And they have nailed that and done that really well. They did not run out of funds and money, which is pretty good as well, which is definitely key. And this is the risky part, because you're going to burn a lot of money. And they still did it in a way that, yes, they threw out inefficiencies, but not in a way that it would kind of kill the company in the future. So I think those are kind of the different ways on how to do it, building culture on the way and trying to find one process and trying to replicate it as quickly as possible over and over and over. I try to just be a good role model in a way, to be like, okay, I live my values. I kind of like doing business in a nice way and not be kind of harmful in a lot of ways and do business where it's ruthless. I'm very much in more like being open also to competitiveness and competitors in a way, because I know that there's a lot of people who can coexist in markets. And within the team, I don't know, flexibility, giving, or I'm serving them, right? My job, what I have every single day, is do my best to support the team, and whatever they need, trying to give it to them for them to achieve their dreams, whatever they want and need. Okay. And this is kind of my way of kind of doing it. And that I see my responsibility is to help them achieve their goals and dreams.
I think a startup ends up becoming like a reflection of the founder, only because the founder has so much input and say from the very beginning.
Yeah, 100%.
So do you think Nexo is a reflection of you?
Yes, and I'm actually quite proud of them, because they're actually doing really well and they work very collaboratively together. I don't think that anyone has any fear of failure. We're not scared of breaking things every now and then. It's just part of it. And yeah, we have lunches together, most of the times, and it's a good vibe, and I'm very proud of that. And if that's a reflection of how my leadership and all of that, then it's cool.
Okay, cool.
You have to be 100% passionate about what you do. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste of your time and a waste of everyone's time you're involved with. I love what I'm doing. Like, it's incredible. Like, I wake up in the morning at 4:30, right? Because I'm so excited to start the day, to move it towards, get some progress within the business, to grow whatever it is. Like, if I help the team grow, if it's that I find new customers, new prospects, new leads, things like that. It's just, I love doing it, and I can't even sleep any longer. Sometimes like the first time when we did our first kind of legal matter on it, and we saw all these invites coming in, I woke up, I think, already at 3:30, and I was already in bed, and I was like, should I wait until the 4:30 alarm goes off? Should I go out now? I go out now. And I could not sleep. I just got up. And if you don't have that, it's too hard, because there's so much pressure on you. It's not always smooth sailing. You hear a lot of no. There's a lot of rejection. There's things that come up you haven't prepared for and don't know, because you're just learning on the way as well, and you have to deal with it. Yeah, it's very, very, very hard. But also, because I'm so passionate about it, I love doing it. I have fun. But number one, learning, it's hard. Yeah. It's really hard. So think twice. Don't jump straight away without having tested it at all, right? With no traction, with no validation. Don't try to just, hey, I'm doing it for the sake of doing it, and try to find something to do. Know what you want to do and exactly what it is, and have a little bit of kind of background already that hey, this might be actually something that's going to work. You never know, right? You can be 100% passionate. You can have a problem to solve for the market. You can have a little bit of traction, but at the end of the day, it can still all fail, right? This is not a thing for success, but it's still something that at least reduces the risks at the beginning, just to be a little bit smarter about not just running into it without thinking about it. It is tough and it is hard. Prepare a little bit for it. And it's not only hard on yourself, it's hard on everyone in your life. So be prepared about that as well. If you're in a relationship, speak to your partner about that, because it's going to be very, very tough in your relationship as well, because there's going to be working, and everything is going to be about work. And the financial return is not there. There is no financial return, right? I have not made any money since last year, meaning there's a lot of stress on the relationship, on your personal life as well, also with friends and family around that. So just think about all of these different impacts and not just jump straight into it. It's about timing, I guess, a lot of it, but not everything is. There's one business in Germany, 3 brothers. They started a company called Rocket Internet. And what they do is they look at Silicon Valley and see at startups where just before kind of the stage where they could blitzscale, copy it 1-to-1 and blitzscale it in countries where they're not tapped into, right? So Airbnb faced that problem, where Airbnb started growing and got real scale in the US market, and then Rocket Internet took it, launched a competitor in Europe, in other countries, and scaled it up. And then the question is, what do you do, right? Airbnb chose to blitzscale to defend and try to take over, and they won the battle. Rocket Internet started actually by cloning eBay. When eBay got traction in the States, they cloned it and did it in Europe and in different other countries. And eBay ended up buying them after 90 days or 100 days of operations for $42 million.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, right? that's a nice return for, just cloning.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the question, right? You don't even have to come up with a unique idea at the end of the day. Like they've found a way on how to just take an idea which already exists, spin it out a little bit and hope they're getting acquired. And if not, we try another one, right? They do not know if that works in that market either, right? For them, it's always a risk around that as well. But they're doing this, for example, taking an idea which already exists and running with that. That's a way to minimize the risk and try to make it successful. Others, I just think is most of it, yes, there might be timing, but timing is a lot up to you around knowing the market, and up to the founder and the business to know if the market is right in it to launch. So there's a lot of these factors, yes, they count in, and I personally do believe in luck, but the further or the harder you work, the more luck you receive.
Okay.
And I think there's a pool of luck out there everyone has access to, but people have to put themselves out there to receive it.
Okay.
And then do something with it, and I think that's the only way and how you can be successful doing it.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging with us on the Convo Couch, and thank you to PT for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a blast.
Thank you. See you again, and don't forget to subscribe on the links below.
And to everyone out there who's trying to start a business, think about it just a little bit. Get a little bit of attraction first, or validate your idea just a little bit before you jump, and think about the impact it's going to have on your life, but also in the life around you. But once you find something you're super passionate about, go at it. Try to grab that opportunity and go hard. Thanks so much.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out this episode in a series where we interview business leaders, tech innovators, and startup founders about their business journey, insights, and reflections. If you find value in this, please leave us a comment below, and also like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Enjoy!